Salespeople are trained to sell you whatever is on their lot, not the right car for you. So how do you avoid this? If you don't know, my name's Tommy. I've been in the car business most of my adult life, done sales and finance, and now I negotiate car deals. Enough about me, let's talk about a needs assessment. In this series, I am teaching you how to buy a car from step A to step Z. This is part 2 of the series. We've already discovered our why, now we have to do a needs assessment. Everybody can picture this moment. You walk into the dealership and you tell them, I want to go drive the Subaru Forester. And the salesperson says, yep, you can, but come to my desk first. And they take you to the desk, they pull out a piece of paper and a notepad, and they say, okay, how many people are in your family? What's your budget? What this is a needs assessment. What a dealership is trying to do is figure out as much ammunition or as much information as they can for you to convince you to buy the car on their lot. Now, when it comes down to this needs assessment, very rarely is this even used to actually find the right car for you. Yes, they might say you need an SUV, and maybe you say you want a Ford, but this really isn't utilized well with the dealership. And on top of it, the salesperson isn't even the one to pick the car, the manager does. And I'll tell you, the manager half the time is picking a car that is older in inventory, not the right vehicle for you. So it's our job to do a needs assessment on ourselves so we can find the right car and not rely on the system. People overcomplicate the needs assessment, and realistically, dealerships are gonna ask you 40 different questions. For me, super simple with my clients. We need to do a needs and a wants list. So first off, we have our why. If you haven't seen my episode 1, go figure that out. We're gonna write that down and put it on a separate note. Now we're gonna make our needs. And I'm gonna go through my needs. So when we're going through my needs, I need wireless CarPlay. My girlfriend, she has wireless CarPlay. It's awesome. I have wired CarPlay. It is annoying. It disconnects half the time. I don't enjoy it. I want a more convenient process. Heads-up display. People call me bougie. I don't care. I had it in my BMW. My girlfriend has it. It is amazing to not take your eyes off the road. It is a safer experience. Leather. I've had leather for 15 years. I need to have it. I need to have room for my dogs. Now, there's a world I keep the Subaru and just buy more of a fun vehicle, but realistically, I'd like to just have a fun vehicle that fits all my needs. So that being said, it needs to have room for the dogs because my girlfriend doesn't like that in the Lexus. It needs to be fun to drive. It needs to have something that excites me. That's the problem with the Subaru right now. It doesn't excite me. It's not a fun vehicle to drive, and I'm bored driving it. Again, these are all really superficial reasons why I want a vehicle, but we're going through my needs assessment. I'm going to buy a car in the end, and it has to have some type of self-driving. It needs to have, adaptive cruise. It needs to be, in my opinion, at least level 2, so it needs to be where it can steer for itself. I like to have that feature. Now that we have our needs, we also have to go through our wants. What are things that we'd like to have but aren't required? I like to write these down just so if a car were deciding between 2 vehicles and one has it and one doesn't, that's a win. So first off, I'd like a plug-in hybrid. It would be really awesome to have that. I have an electrical system that's in my house I just can't use, and I'd really like to use it. Maybe that's super small, but I know I need to have that in my car. I'd like to have a great sound system. I listen to music quite often, especially when I'm driving. When I'm on the road, it'd be really nice to have that. A moonroof, panoramic, I'd like to have it. It almost went to my needs list, but I never opened the moonroof, so I don't want it. And this one, again, is super small, but I love an interior that can light up and have colors that I can change. Again, these are super small things, but these are wants. If my car doesn't have it, it's not the end of the world, but it's things I want, not need. There are a few more questions that I ask my clients, and again, we're not going to be talking fully budget today. That's going to be episode 3, and it does take an episode to talk about budget, and it's really important that we figure that out depending on how we're buying the car. But for this, these are a few questions that I ask my clients, which are you looking for a car, an SUV, or a truck? I'm looking for a car or SUV. Now, brands I won't consider. One thing that's important is I don't say the brands I want to buy. I always think it's important during the buying phase, we open up all of our options. We do not want to not drive something just because we might not like the brand unless you really are against it. And there's only 3 brands that I'm really against that I know I wouldn't enjoy. First off is a Chevy and Ford. I've driven most of them. I just don't like them. They're not great vehicles. And again, when I'm talking about SUVs, again, I'm just not impressed with anything they have. Now, Tesla is going to be the third one here. I don't love their interiors. I think they're boring, and honestly, they just don't inspire me. Again, they're super simplistic. They self-drive. That's great. I've driven a Tesla, and maybe I'm just not ready for EV. I'm willing to consider some EV cars, but realistically, I just don't think Tesla's going to be on the list for me. Now, new versus used. I'm looking for a new car, maybe slightly used, maybe 1 or 2 years old, certified pre-owned, if the market makes sense. And then how am I paying? I'm going to be financing the vehicle. I need the car payments to be under $600. That it makes sense for me. I'd like it to be like $400, but $600 the absolute max. The one question I didn't add on here is how long you plan on owning the car. For me, I'm probably going to own the car for about 3 to 4 years. I do trade a little bit more often than the average person. It might be a 5-year-old car depending on the vehicle, but I imagine, just being truthful with myself, I'll own it for 4 years. Some things to note. First off, you want to write all of these down. You don't want to forget it. There's a reason a salesperson does it. Now, a salesperson is going to ask you a whole bunch of questions like what's your budget, what's your down payment. We're not figuring out the budget just yet. That is going to be in episode 3. We do need to figure this out. Now, some people say, Tommy, why do you need to do all this? Just go drive cars and figure out what you want. 40 to 60% of people who buy a car have buyer's remorse. It is one of the most serious problems we have when the car buying process. And part of that problem is people don't understand how to pick a car for themselves. So I don't want to rush through this process. I'm going to make sure I have enough time. Not everybody has this luxury, but I have time to figure this out. So I want to go through and find the perfect vehicle for me. The only way I'm going to do that is doing a proper needs assessment. Once I do a proper needs assessment and figure out my budget, I'm going to start making a list of vehicles that make sense for me. But that's going to be in episode 3 and episode 4. So if you guys like this content, I want you to like, follow, subscribe. Again, make sure you follow this list, follow it down, make a needs and wants list. If you guys have your own needs and wants list, I want to hear it in the comment section below. Thank you guys and have a great day.